that beautiful or what? What a film. Food is my love language. Please join me in welcoming chef and radio host Evan Kleiman and the director of The Taste of Things, Trần Anh Hùng.
Thank you so much. This is probably a pretty health-conscious audience. And I think that we should all thank you for giving them something luxurious and rich.
Thank you.
Hung and I had the great pleasure of having a conversation last week for Good Food with Juliette Binoche. It was, I almost never use this word, but it was a delight. I just so enjoyed the conversation. There's so much I want to ask you. First of all, I guess I'd love to ask you, did you know that you wanted to take on some gastronomic material? And if so, what led you to finding Marcel Rouff's novel?
I always want to make a movie about an art, but and then I choose gastronomy because everything can be real in the movie. We can see actually people cooking for real. So this idea of having everything real was there from the beginning. Also because it's convenient. At the end of the day, we can eat everything that we cook for the movie. Yes.
You know, one of the things that is extraordinary for me watching the film, and this is my second time seeing it, is both the physicality of the actors and of the camera. The camera moves so much, which I think is in really beautiful service to what I call kind of the dance of cooking. I've always felt that the act of cooking at that level, there's so much movement. It's such a physical art. How difficult was it to figure out a way to shoot it?
Oh yes, actually it was difficult. It was in fact a challenge for me as a filmmaker, because I wanted to give the audience the feeling of something very kind of harmony, because I need to reflect the nature of the relationship between Dodin and Eugénie, because they used to work together for almost 20 years. So they have that kind of very harmonious, during the cooking. So I need to give it to the audience. So I needed them to move a lot in this kitchen, and at the same time with all the camera movement, quite complex, to get this feeling, this physical feeling for the audience, and it was difficult to do it.
And your two actors, Juliette and Benoît, I mean, they obviously had some familiarity with a kitchen. The way their gestures felt very real, not forced, and clearly there were no hand models.
No. We, of course, at the beginning, I didn't know, so we cast hands for them as a doubles. But during the shooting, they wanted to do everything, Benoît and Juliette. So at the end, in the movie, we have only one shot of the close-up of the hands for her and one shot for him. Only because that day I had some time left to shoot something, and they were not there anymore. So I used the hands for that, because they wanted to do everything. And we were really lucky that there was no, they didn't hurt themselves. Because, yes, because there is a lot of knife and boiled water
stove.
and yes, and fire and everything, yes.
How did you come to decide that 3-star Michelin chef Pierre Gagnère was the right person with whom you could collaborate?
Oh, yes, I was lucky. Because during the writing of the script, I worked with an historian, and he advised me to meet with Pierre Gagnère. And when I met Pierre, it was in winter, and in his restaurant, they serve the pot-au-feu, a new version of it, a modern version. So Yenke, who is here with me, and we taste the pot-au-feu. But the man was so nice. And then I decided to work with him. And I was lucky enough that he accepted to work with me. And so after the script, I have to show him all the menu of the movie, and he reviewed all this. He changed a few things, and then he cooked for me.
And
Yes.
this to me is the most extraordinary thing, that he actually made everything for you, and you were the audience.
Yes. Of course, I need to see it, actually, and also to taste it, to check that it's really good, you know. If not, you would know that it's not good on the screen. So we spent 5 days in his kitchen, and it was marvelous, because he's an artist, and I suddenly I realized how he worked with his team. He just tries something, and then you have the whole team watching him, and then they would they would organize it differently to be able then to serve, you know, a full room of people who come to have a meal there. So it's he really create freely, and then his team would make it possible.
Was he in the film?
Yes, he's in the film.
What role did he play?
He played l'officier de bouche of the prince. Yes, he read the menu. Yes. And this was the idea of Yenke. Yenke, who is also she took care of the art direction of the movie, and also she created the costume for the movie.
I mean, she was like the other half of your brain.
Yes. So she's the one who told me he's so handsome. You need to have him in the movie. Yes. and of course I have to convince him. And then the only way to convince him is said that my wife said that you are handsome and you need to be in the film. So he said, okay.
Did the actors, did Dodin and Eugénie in real life, did Juliette and Benoît, did they ever lose themselves in the scene? Were they ever so engaged by the art direction, the costume, the words, the direction, that they kind of looked up at the end and realized that they were in front of all of these people and machines?
Sorry, I don't understand your question.
Did they ever get so deep into the part and into
Yes.
the rhythm of being in that kitchen with one another?
Twice, yes. One time for Juliette and one time for Benoît. There was one scene when we see them walking after the scene of the long table. They walk and then they talk about summer and autumn, and suddenly she turned around and kissed him. It was not written in the script, and so when I said cut, Benoît ran to me and asked me, "You asked her to kiss me because it was not written in the script," and I said no. Because I'm not the character. So maybe she kissed you because she felt that it was the moment. I don't know. It was her last day of the shooting, so it was her last opportunity to kiss him. So and then he told me he did. But now we are going to make another take. Will she kiss me? I said, I don't know. It's up to her. So he said, okay, I get it. And this was from her. She invented something. And for him, it's at the end of the movie. We have this long, very difficult scene to shoot because you have to change the light and at the same time to change all the set. And so at the end, it was, complicated. And at the end, she asked him if she's his cook or his wife, and he answered, "You're my cook," and he added, "and my wife." I said, "Benoît, you changed the meaning of the scene. Go back to the script. It's crazy." And then he walked to me with a smile, and he said, "I'm sorry, Hùng. I was lost in her eyes," he said.
I mean, it's famous that these two had this relationship. They have a child together, and they hadn't been close for 2 decades, really.
Yes,
is what I've read.
And they never worked together.
Worked together.
Yes, again. I mean. Yeah.
Did you feel that? Could you feel that they were communicating beyond the words?
I don't know. Yes, I try to avoid it because yes, I was really anxious at the beginning. Yes, but from after a week of shooting, it was really amazing what happened between them, because I'm not that kind of director who try to take advantage of their real life. What I need on the screen is their expressivity, and it was enough. I don't need to know more about it. What they gave me, it's up to them. I don't know.
Such extraordinary grace from the two of them, and sensitivity and sweetness, and that scene where he cooks for her. Upstairs, and we've been in this room before with the men, but the room's never been dressed like that before. We go all of a sudden from being in the kitchen, which is dark, and the last time we've been in this room, it was more subdued. It was more wood and more brown, and now the table has a tablecloth. It's glittering with silverware and flowers and glassware and candles.
Yes.
The luminosity of that scene is extraordinary. Was it shot by candlelight?
Yes. Yes, we use candlelight for it. Also because the place is protected. It's a historical monument. So you cannot touch the wall, you cannot hang the light, in there. So we use only candles. Yes, so it gives this, feeling very soft and yes.
Did you know right away when you started working on the script that you had to have the ortolan scene?
Yes, yes. It was on the script, and it's a protected species, so we have to build some ortolan out of other birds. Yes, because you cannot kill them. Yes.
It was very sexual, that scene.
Yes.
All those men underneath those napkins, as if
Yes.
maybe they were involved in a different activity.
Yes. In fact, I shoot also under the napkins, but I didn't show it. I prefer to what we have now. Yes.
It's just so supremely odd. And it's probably the only time we've ever seen it in a film except for Gigi.
Gigi?
Yeah, Gigi, the movie of Gigi
I don't remember.
has an ortolan eating scene.
With the also?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I love that it's you and Gigi. In other interviews, you've described this lust for life that is kind of embodied in the food, and also in the relationship between these two people as classically French. What do you mean by that?
Classically French.
This kind of
Yes, I think that in the movie, because I'm Vietnamese and I came to France around 12, so I was really interested in French culture and discover it, and what was normal for a French man was not normal for me. So I was interested in it, and what I like in French culture is this sense of measure. They are people who they are not exuberant. They are they keep everything quite at a certain level, and I quite like it, and it fit with my Asian nature. So for this movie, I wanted it to be very French. About the feeling of it, and what is said in the movie about seasons and everything sounds very very French for me. Yes.
So let's talk about pot-au-feu.
Yes.
The dish. It was going to be the name of the film originally. Tell me about your relationship to the dish.
Oh, I ate it several times. I mean, a lot of time, yes. And it's something that is related to childhood also. It's a very casual dish. And you eat it, when you cook one, you eat it for 3 or 2 or 4 days. And at the end, when you have some meat left, then you can, make salad with it,
or
and
a
it's very
burrito.
good. Yes, exactly. Yes. So it's something that is quite. It's not a luxurious dish, but today, because it has this quality of childhood memory. So all the chef in France, they have their version of the pot-au-feu, a modern version of it. When I ate it at Pierre Gagnère's restaurant, it came in 6 different dishes, and so you taste it, and it all has the flavor, everything of the pot-au-feu, but also something else, something that is more like more evocative, can we say it? It's interesting and very good.
Did you have a scene that you were particularly fond of that surprised you?
I would say the last scene before Eugénie's death.
The scene where they're eating the omelet.
Yes.
It's very odd.
Yes,
that
very
scene.
strange. Yes.
Very strange.
Strange for Dodin also, because he didn't completely get what she mean by this story that she's telling, and I really like it to create something a little bit vague, something that is very precise for her, but at the same time he doesn't know how. He didn't know how to take it, you know, and I like it. It's difficult to achieve something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I first read this novel in the late 70s, early 80s, and I became besotted with it, even though I was an Italophile, not a Francophile. And then I kind of forgot about it. I put it away. And when I started watching your film the first time, it was just like, I almost burst into tears, because it's, the experience of that novel has so much to do, I think, with what led me personally into cooking and wanting to inhabit the physical nature of it. And to see how beautifully you created this world that we can just all retreat to, away from our real world, it's a gift. I think you've given all of us a gift. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's take some questions. We ready? We have people? People who have questions, you want to raise your hand?
Was filmed.
Where the movie was filmed? Yes, it's 2 hours by train from Paris, going southwest. It's Angers, close to Angers. Yes.
Were those extraordinary exteriors, the scene where he is walking through the white carpet of flowers, and the scene where they're having lunch, was it at the chateau, the same property?
Yes, it is the same place, yes.
Wow.
Yes, I found this castle quite small, and because I wanted to have this circulation between the rooms and between the kitchen and the rooms, and it need to be in the same place. And then we build the kitchen in the largest room of the castle, and around the castle you have all these places that you saw in the movie, except the two gardens. Two gardens are somewhere else. Yes.
And were they real gardens with real produce?
Yes, they are real gardens, but we shot it end of April, beginning of March. So it is still, almost the beginning of springtime, but it's still very cold. The earth is still very cold. So Yenke plant everything. It's okay. We can shoot.
I mean, the vegetables should get their own casting credit.
Yes.
They're exceptional.
Yes.
Really exceptional. Another question?
I have a question about the two different cuisines. You have the Prince of Eurasia, who I don't think exists, by the way. But anyway, the Prince of Eurasia had this long menu, and that was some kind of cuisine. And then does he represent Nouvelle cuisine? Is he the beginning of Nouvelle cuisine, would you say?
Yes, you can say it, because the reason that that the movie takes place at that time, it's because of one line that Dodin said in the movie, that there is only 13 years between the death of Antonin Carême and the birth of Auguste Escoffier. And Auguste Escoffier is the man who will bring the cuisine to the modern time. So at that time, modernity is there, and at the same time, we have the remain of the old time, and it's embodied by the prince. They have this very big and long, meal that lasts something like 8 hours, and this menu is still in the south of France. There is one man, and every year he has this. He organized this menu, and he need to find a sponsor to pay for this. And I know this story about because of Jim Harrison, the American writer. He wrote about it because he was invited to this dinner, very long. And when he came to the dinner, this dinner was paid by an American billionaire, and but this man missed the plane, so he didn't come. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Would you want to go to one of those dinners?
I don't think so.
Me neither.
Yes. Right.
Yeah,
I
couldn't.
have a too small stomach. Yes.
Me too.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, what was really amazing to me, too, in the script, kind of the dance between the script and the production design, the way the didactic nature of Dodin, the way he's constantly teaching those around him and expressing these new ideas of Escoffier, and how that didactic nature is infused with like realness and gentleness and the sensuality of the actual work, I found to be really, really fascinating.
Yes, I think that to answer your question also, there was this scene where Dodin cooked for Eugénie. Since Eugénie, she's a very good cook, so Dodin has to find something to surprise her. So finally, what he's preparing is already, the modern cuisine, the way he presents everything to surprise her. And it was possible because of Escoffier. He was there already,
And what's amazing is that new cuisine became our, classic French cuisine, against which those who created nouvelle cuisine were rebelling. So it's just this amazing sort of continuum of, but man, I really would love to eat some of that food. Those sauces. I never thought I would long for those rich sauces again. Another question?
Hi, I have a question. Just about the title, because I noticed in this, in the credits that the original was called La Passion de Dodin, and I just wondered what led you to change it to The Taste of Things, because to me it's like so much more than just the taste of things. The relationships and all the other passions that he have are so beautifully expressed. So could you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, it's the first time that I couldn't find a good title for my movie, and La Passion de Dodin Bouffant. We kept this title because the word Dodin Bouffant is so French. So for the French, it was a good title, but not for me, because I couldn't find a good one. So when it happened, I can see it because other countries would like to change it because it's not good, somehow. So it's at the beginning it was the pot-au-feu, but I think that the distributor here thinks that the pot-au-feu has exotic quality of it, but it does, and it's a dish, so it doesn't reveal the love story in the movie. That's why they change it to the taste of things. Things meaning, food and also love. So I say yes, because and for the Spanish, it's a slow fire. Something like
that's
that.
a good one.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
I mean, if you had called it pot-au-feu, then you risked them translating that in the U.S. version as beef stew.
Uh-huh.
That wouldn't have been good.
Yes.
We can take another question.
I wondered if there was much done as you read the book as often as you had to. You changed the dialogue because it seems so interestingly fresh, but that's probably just the nature of the book. If you could talk a little bit about how you worked with the sound, the voices for the film.
Oh, the dialogue was not in the book because I didn't like the story in the book. So I told the story that is before the book.
It's a prequel.
Yes, it's kind of a prequel, and so all the dialogue it's was not in the book. And you mentioned about the sound. It was something very important for me because after the shooting of the movie, I always knew that I have the movie, no doubt. So in the editing room, I'm not looking for the movie because I know the movie is there. So I have a picture lock quite quickly to save time for the sound, because the sound is the flavor of the picture. The picture has the beauty, but the flavor of it come from the sound. When it's right, everything is more vivid and more interesting to watch.
So was a lot of the sound done in post? All of the cooking?
Yes, of course.
The cooking sounds.
The cooking sound, we record it and to keep it as a reference. But then we have to also to redo all the sounds, and it's the foley. We call it the foley, and we have the person who's doing the foley. We call him a foley artist, and it's a right.
Now I want to interview that Foley person.
Yes.
For how
It's
they
very
got
interesting.
all the bubbling and the sizzling
Yes.
and the. Wow.
Yes, it's very interesting, and I always stay every minute with the Foley artist because I ask for different sound, for different texture, and some sound that is not in the picture that he cannot see. I will ask him. I will, I will describe something outside of the frame. Say I need this and this, and he would do it for me. So the sound in the movie was very rich. At the end of the sound editing, I knew that I didn't need music. Yes, somehow the sound chased the music away. Yes.
That's amazing. Amazing. We can have one more question.
Thank you. Actually, I'm up here, way up here. I will just want to say two things. Those two young ladies were fabulous.
Yes.
Absolutely fabulous.
Yes,
I think
exactly.
that I think we will be seeing them again
Yes.
and again.
I hope so.
One of the most wonderful visual was the poached pear
Yes.
right after the scene of her in bed with her back.
Uh-huh.
And I just thought it was just marvelous. Did you,
was that an envision that you envisioned it immediately
Yes, yes.
to put the two together?
Yes, from the beginning in the script. Yes, of course, and because food and sex is the two sources of sensuality in our life. So by this cut from the pear to the body, it tells everything about this idea.
But when he moved the pear,
Yes.
when he put his hand on it, it was as if he was putting his hand on her body, and it was just lovely. Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's thank this marvelous director for giving us so much pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thank you.